Welcome to the Carr and Seguin Show, hosted by Devon Carr and Paul Seguin, where two Michiganders dive into real estate, outdoors, community building, and everything in between. What is up, bro?
Not too much, man. You?
Oh, not much.
Not much.
Not much. Another
Just
day, another
day,
dollar.
yeah.
Well, we are back in the studio for, what episode are we at here? Do we even know, engineer? No? We have no clue?
No concept of what episode it is.
Well, what was just posted today? I should just go check.
56.
We had, let's see. We should know this. Should be our pre-show routine. No, shooting the breeze. So, yeah, today's 57.
There we go.
57.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew
Halfway to 114.
that. There you go.
Let's keep them stacking.
Yeah.
Let's go. So, episode 57. And, we're coming fresh off the Masters.
Yes, sir.
Did you watch any of that?
I did.
Did you?
I did.
Scotty Too Hottie was
I know.
pretty hot.
Yeah.
I mean, he just made it. I mean, he's made golf look pretty dang easy
Last
2 months. I mean, it's pretty incredible, though, that if you go back 2 months, this man has never won a PGA Tour event.
Right.
Period. I mean, he's had a good showing. That's why I believe it was last year, right? The Ryder Cup. Was it last year? I'm bad.
Not sure.
2021. No, it might have been in 2020. Anyways, whenever the Ryder Cup was, just last.
Yep.
I know he was a captain's pick by Jim Furyk.
Okay.
Or was it? See, I'm horrible. I shouldn't even be talking right now. Not even making any sense. But
False news.
yeah, whoever the captain was, and whenever the Ryder Cup was played, I know he was a captain's pick. Just because obviously his game was there.
Right.
But geez Louise. I mean, I love the quote that Tiger Woods said when they were asking him in the press conference of like, you just try to plan getting hot around majors.
Right.
I mean, that's even Tiger Woods himself said it. Like, I always tried to make sure that as I was getting back on my stride, it was right around the major time.
Right.
And this dude just
Makes sense.
struck gold.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's got to – but that's golf. I mean, look at Jordan Spieth. The dude was hot for, 2 years, and then now it's kind of just he's trying to climb his way back up again. But that's golf. I mean, most players other than, your Jacks, your Tigers, your bigger guys that just rode that wave for a long time.
Right.
Which is very rare to do. Probably in all sports, really.
Right, yeah.
But, specifically in golf, I mean, you just ride that wave as long as you can.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, there's so many things that could, just like an alteration of your swing, could screw you up for a while if you can't seem to pinpoint it or fix it.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't take much.
No.
I mean, realistically. If your putting stroke, was bad, then,
And golf is so mental.
yeah.
If you're just stuck in your head, you're done.
Right.
You're done. Like in regards to even what you're saying, like if there's like this swing little glitch that you're like, what the frick's going on here?
Right.
And then you start getting in your head, and then you're just done.
And you're worried about
But
it.
that's
you're
why-
thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, look at that's what even happened on Sunday. Who's the dude that was playing with Scotty?
Cameron Smith.
Cameron Smith.
Yeah.
He came out firing, birdie start, and then went bogey, right? And you kind of after that, you kind of just sensed like, all right, he's trying to just find that groove again a little bit,
Right.
and then makes the triple on 12, and then he was just done. A little. I mean, it's just, yeah.
Well, I mean, it was a long way to climb back, as long as Sky didn't shoot himself in the foot.
Right, which
I mean,
it was
that
funny what he did on 18.
Oh,
too.
I know. It was awesome.
The little human moment,
Yeah.
like he's not, I would too, but I mean, you gotta,
You're thinking, I
Five-shot
already
lead.
won.
Yeah.
I already won. Why am I putting?
yeah, and I can only imagine. I mean, there was even a quote afterwards that he even said of just the whole emotional mindset
I mean, could you imagine? It's not like it's a.
I was just talking with the boys yesterday at golf practice. We were like, I don't, because he even said it. He woke up Sunday morning. He was renting a house with Sam Burns. Well, he missed the cut, so he left, and it was just him and his wife in this house, which was great because I was able just to after playing,
right,
especially on Saturday. He said that we were just by ourselves. I didn't have anyone come over. We were just relaxing. But he's even said, he goes, Sunday morning, woke up, and he's like, dude, I was crying. I had so much emotion of like, I'm leading the Masters on a Sunday.
Right.
He's like, I straight up just told the coach, he's like, I was crying, and I just told my wife, I don't think I can do this. And it's like, yeah, I would be in that same spot. It'd be like, shoot. Just freeze. Like, I don't even know if I can tee off or hit a ball.
Yeah.
But obviously he did it. But yeah, it was funny what he did in 18. It was like, oh, he missed.
Yeah. And then he missed again, and then everyone clapped.
Everyone stood up to encourage him. Like, you can do this 3-footer. Yeah, right. But hey, even the best players in the world do it, right?
Right. Well, I mean, just think.
It's not just us weekend hackers.
You're just standing there on that green knowing you won
the Masters.
I mean, realistically, you won. I mean, it'd be pretty tough to screw that one up.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to make a 10 to lose.
You're the only one out there. You just have to make that one little putt.
Yeah, that was kind of like, no, he did not.
Yeah, I know.
But hey, it's like, yeah, at the end of the day, you're like, well, he can miss 2 more and he'll still be fine.
Right, yeah. No, I mean,
at the end of the day, all you're going to see is first place in your score. It's not going to be like, oh, what did he, 4 putt on 18? Or was it 3? It was 4.
I think it was 4.
Yeah, 4
3 or
putting.
4. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, shoot.
He still won by 3.
Yeah.
Even with a double on 18, he still won by 3. I mean, that's a pretty nice cushion to have coming into the 18th tee box of the 72nd hole of the Masters, 5-shot lead.
And it looked like the nicest day.
Oh, it was a perfect day.
I mean, the rest of the days,
it was tough.
That looked brutal.
It was tough.
I mean,
windy.
That wind was howling. I mean, all them guys are missing the green, and I mean, it was
makes it difficult.
I'd say.
And already a very difficult course.
Yeah.
I got a whole bunch of crap for that.
I know.
My post on Facebook. I called, for those of you who didn't know, I posted on Facebook saying that Tiger Woods is washed up. He's going to miss the cut. Got a lot of crap for that. Whatever, people. I was just making my statement and my guess. Okay? Right. Relax. And then, of course, the guy that I was rooting for, Jordan Spieth, misses the cut. Tiger makes the cut. Even though Tiger did blow up on, more specifically, Sunday, too. He shot like an
his putting was, I mean, his putting, I don't know what happened, but.
Because he's a bum. That's why. He's washed up. It was just more so I can't, and I get it. I get it. He's freaking Tiger Woods. Great. He's probably one of the best players ever to play. I get it. But it's like, dude, I'm just sick and tired of, I think that's maybe what it is because it's just this constant up and down. He's back, and then he does something stupid or, another surgery, and then he's down. And then, he's coming back. So every single commercial or every single minute of airtime, the only person they're ever talking about is freaking Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Who hasn't hit a ball in over 500 days, but this is all we're going to talk about?
Yeah, that is.
Why don't we focus on actually who's playing well?
That did get annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to see Tiger win, but I thought it was every time you turned on like Golf Channel, that's all they were talking about.
Yeah.
But I will say the new guy that's on, or at least that was one of the reporters that they do that live at the Masters, those 3 guys.
Yeah.
It used to be the 2, and then I think, was it Justin Leonard used to be there, but then they got the new guy, Paul, or whatever.
Was it Azinger?
He's from Ireland.
Oh yeah, that guy,
Yeah.
Paul. Yeah, I
but
know
he
who you're
was
talking
there. He was telling everybody they need to calm down.
yeah. Well, I never saw that because I would have been like, I'm agreeing with you.
He told everyone from the beginning, y'all need to calm down.
Because it's so American. Honestly.
Yeah.
It takes a foreigner from freaking Ireland to be like, why don't y'all just freaking relax?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it was every time they interviewed somebody, it was, well, what do you think about Tiger Woods coming back? It's
know.
Do you think, I mean, they don't want to talk about
they come and prepare their game.
Right.
Do you think all, and honestly, like, you know.
What are they going to say? Oh, we hate it.
No, but I think what's dumb about it, it's like, he's not Tiger that we all know before. So why are we hyping it up like, oh my gosh, here he is, he's back. Like he hasn't done much of anything in the last decade.
Yeah.
Leave it alone. He's done. And he may still play some good golf because he's only, 44 or something like that? Mm-hmm. So he's got years left. He should.
Right.
I mean, Jax, he was 56 when he won his last Masters. So is it possible? Yes. But the dude has a fake body because he's had so many freaking surgeries and replacements. And he's always strung out on freaking pain meds. Like, the dude's done. I'm sorry.
I would say.
I have to tell you the truth.
There was a lot of people watching them practice rounds.
Oh, yeah.
I mean.
And I get it. The media is probably going to use and abuse it to drive up the hype. Okay, it's Tiger. Why not? But it just was overdone.
It was overdone.
It was overdone. Every player conference you heard, like you said, it was Tiger question after question.
Yeah, it's like what?
And you can even tell in some of the guys' reactions, like, you just freaking asked me this yesterday.
Right. Why are we continuing
why are
going
we still
over this
talking about
and over it?
This guy. It's just like enough. And I know some people even comment on the post like, oh, but it's Tiger Woods. I'm like, yeah, and what? I love the sport.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you think he's the one that is going to make, like, no. It's time to start actually giving the attention to the people who are actually really playing good golf and not someone who used to play really good golf. Anyways. But no, it was really good. I mean, I don't think Scotty went wire to wire because what's his name? Im was the first round leader.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. But no, it was good. It was good stuff.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. Ted Scott, his golf caddy, third-time master champion. He was the caddy for Bubba Watson when he won twice.
He was?
Yeah. Yeah, he just left Bubba this past year.
Huh?
I mean, lucky for him, too. Not lucky, just fortunate. I mean, him and Bubba split.
Mm-hmm.
I know I think it's just, the dude's kind of a little wacko from what I hear. He's just kind of that's why he was voted a couple years ago like the most hated player on the on the tour. Yeah, because he's just like a kind of
out there.
Yeah, it's just I guess he's just hard to play with, and I get that. I mean, I remember that in like high school and college. Like there was just certain guys you just didn't want to play with.
Right.
It's just they're no fun.
Yeah.
Really, they are. Their style of play, the pace of play. Whether they're just like a jabberjaw that just talks about the most stupidest stuff, and you're like, I don't want to talk to this guy for 18 holes in 5 hours, and you try to block it off,
right?
But
there was what was the championship before that? Was it the Valspar?
Yeah.
Before that, there was one guy. He's never won. He was from Texas. He wore the black visor on Sunday, and he was right up there. But apparently he's just a super slow player. And the announcer's like, yeah, he's known for occasionally he'll drop the anchor and just kind of hang out. How would you like to play with that guy?
Yeah, I can't stand slow play. Like I am.
Well, it's hard to get in a groove. And I'm not even that good. And
yeah,
I golf worse when
outings.
Can't get in a groove.
Yeah, you're just standing still on tee boxes or.
That was like Tiger and who he golfed with on Friday. It was just the two of them.
Yeah,
because Oosthuizen dropped out. And they were just waiting all the time, which, I mean,
yeah.
is unfortunate. I mean, what are you going to do?
You're twosome and everybody else is a threesome on the tour. The pace of play on the tour has always been an issue.
Yeah.
All the time. But there are easily a handful of guys that are notorious for super slow
It was
play.
just I never heard that. Oh yeah, he'll drop the anchor occasionally.
Try to remember the guy you said with the black visor.
He had a black. There's only a couple people that wear a visor.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It was a black visor on Sunday. He was from Texas.
Texas.
I don't think he's ever won. But he was right up there with. I don't want to say he finished second, but he was right up there with JJ. Yeah, I don't know.
Can't remember.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, but there are slow pace of play has always been an issue. I mean, shoes. That's pace of play is an issue for everybody in golf these days. I mean, it's just like ridiculous.
Yeah. You don't have to rush and just run to your ball and everything.
But you don't also have to like sit there and overanalyze the wind. Like, dude, just pick some grass and throw it up.
Yeah.
All right. It's cutting across left and right. All right. And I mean, it's, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do this shot. And then you go back to have your caddy run back over to you and you talk about it some more. Then they go, okay. And then they come back. It's like, come on.
Hey, I mean.
And then you duff it.
I mean, I get it. Like, even in college, I mean, I don't know. I'm a pretty fast player, like, just to get in that groove. But I could probably, if I was ever on the tour, like, I could probably see myself becoming more of a slower
player.
I would think.
I mean, I get it with the green, with the putting.
So
I mean, you need to really. I mean, that's where you make it.
I agree. So that was just what kind of popped in my head. Like, the area that I would probably more slow down is on the greens,
right?
Because there are a lot of times where, like, when there is that kind of rush feeling. That's where I hate it the most.
Right.
Like, don't rush me on the greens.
Right.
Like, I want to
That's
putt.
where you make your point. I mean, that's 100%. Where your scores at.
That's why driving's for show and putting's for dough.
Yeah.
I mean, that's everything.
But you don't need to overanalyze your second shot on a par 5.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we were just talking about this with the guys yesterday at golf practice. Like, we're trying to get into some, like, course management stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember when I was in high school, like, distance is everything, right? Like, you want to be the longest,
right?
Like, that makes you the cooler golfer in the crowd, right?
You want to say how far you can drive.
I passed it by everybody.
Yeah.
Justin always thinks he's the longest, but I outdrove him, right?
I always hit my pitching wedge.
Yeah, bragging rights in the school hallways, but that's not where you score well.
No.
And so it's trying to get these guys their mind off of, like, distance. Like, wouldn't you play better if you were consistently in the fairway instead of trying to just grip it and rip it every single tee box?
Right.
Like, do you really have to hit driver on this hole? Well, why not? I mean, I'm going to be close. Like, no. Like, if you're really good in that 100-yard range or 130, like, oh, yeah, my 9-iron's my bread and butter. Like, I love that club. So then why don't you hit something off the tee box that puts you at that distance? Like, golf, you can do whatever the heck you want.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter how you get the ball in the hole.
As long as
it's all about just getting in the hole with the least amount of strokes.
Right.
And it's just trying to teach these guys that course management isn't just teeing up a driver off every tee box.
Right.
No.
Well, think about it. I mean, all the times that you can't hit your driver well. Just a bad day.
Yeah.
You should have put it away after, like, the 3rd hole, and then maybe by the 16th hole, you're just like, I'm done now. And then you put it away, but when you should have put it away a lot.
On, like, the 2nd or 3rd hole.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't going well, but.
Switching to a 3-wood.
It's just that mindset where I mean, I did it when we did the Livonia Churchill. I mean, granted, it's a scramble, so it doesn't matter, but I mean. My driver was not going anywhere, and I was like, I'll just put this away.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, just putting aside, going to a 3-wood.
Right.
Or hitting a 3-iron. Which one you're going to have more control with, the iron? I mean, you want to put something, like, and we were just talking about it. Golf's all about momentum. Why don't you just, this isn't a long par 4, right? It's maybe only 310 yards. Do you really have to hit driver? Well, I'm going to see if I drive it. What if you don't? Are you going to go in the water? Are you going to go in the woods on the left?
Right.
What's your risk here? Why don't you, if you're if you just came off like back-to-back doubles or bogeys and you're all kind of pissed off, yeah, sure, the first thing you want to do is let's just smoke one down the middle and get it. Let's get going. No. Why don't you just play the conservative route and get back to a rhythm? Mm-hmm. Throw something in the fairway. Hit an iron. 5-iron off the tee box. If it's a short par 4, who freaking cares? You're still going to have only 150 in or something.
Right.
And then get back into the groove. Make a birdie. All right. Now let's go back.
Right.
I mean, it's very, I mean, that's the stuff they start teaching in, I mean, big time. I mean, more so, college. It's all about course management. It's that's what takes your game to the next level.
Yeah.
When you're just, especially like a weekend warrior, all you're doing out there is just trying to freaking beat your buddies and,
right.
Give a bunch of, bragging rights. Yeah, I about drove you by 30 yards, you pussy. You were hitting a 4-iron to that par 4 or par 3? Come on, man. I was hitting a 7-iron. You weak stuff. But, no, it's, I mean, shoot, you can apply that to anything. It's like, do I really need to do this, or can I back up and do it differently?
Right. Smarter way.
Right.
No, I think we should have a segment about golf clubs. Because I think every year this time of year, I start looking, Beck, I hope you're not listening, at new golf clubs. Do I need them? Absolutely not.
Dude.
But it's like, well, maybe, I haven't technically bought myself a new set of irons ever. I got some for my birthday when I was a long time ago. It was a birthday gift from my parents, but I haven't personally bought.
Yeah.
Like my irons I bought a few years ago, they were used, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's not like I golf all the time.
Right.
But I always look and I go, well, maybe I should buy a set this year. Or maybe I should buy a set of wedges this year. Oh, and so then I always, obviously, I get looking at everything. And then I was looking and like I was looking at the Titleist ones.
Ooh.
And they were.
Now you're talking my style.
And there's a difference between like what I was reading, that like the T100s are the more high-end one, the T300s are more forgiving.
Yep, bigger.
And then you start looking at it, and you're like, the loft is different, and it's like, well, that's making sense why they can hit the ball. They can use their 8-iron at X amount, versus when you're using a 3-wood.
Yeah, but so like yes,
but there's less forgiveness. So
correct, if you got a smaller sweet spot,
right?
They're not as offset.
Yep.
Your lie is even probably a little different. Your bottom of your sole's thicker.
Yep.
So it gets through more. Where you get more of the players' clubs, it's a thinner sole.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously smaller club head, but then that also creates more workability. And that's obviously as you're more of, wanting to work shots
right
on demand kind of thing, you get into those clubs. But dude, I'm right there with you though. I have my set of clubs that I'm playing now, maybe not they're as old, but they're pretty old. When I was a Titleist staff at Tanglewood back in, when did I start at Tanglewood? That was back in 2010. I got a full bag of clubs being on staff.
Right.
But it's the same clubs I got today. So it's, whenever I go to play with, guys who at least know their clubs and stuff, they're like, oh my gosh, these are the original freaking 787. I'm like, AP2s. I'm like, oh yeah, this was the first AP2s that came out. I remember it. It was the new Titleist release.
Mm-hmm.
AP2s, AP1, AP2s, and yeah, the 7, 8, 10s are the original. That's what I got. And they're like, dude, these are old. I'm like, yeah, well, they still just beat you. So, yeah, your $500 driver really worked out, didn't it?
Right, yeah.
No, but at the end of the day, these clubs these days, they're just insane, especially the drivers. But I'm a big Titleist guy. I always have been, always will. Titleist woods, I'll never hit anything else. But I'm a big look player. Like, it's got to look good to the eye. Like, when I'm addressing the ball, if it doesn't look right, I just, nope, not it.
In terms of, like, your driver
Driver, irons.
Okay.
It's like I'm more of a look and feel player than anything. Like, it's just got to look good and it's got to feel right. TaylorMade, I've never been a fan of.
It's always about confidence.
Yeah.
You know?
I've hated TaylorMade clubs still to this day. I mean, we were just at Carl's and I was messing around with some of their new stuff. I'm like, it's just junk in my opinion.
love Carl's.
Yeah. It's always fun going there. That's where we've been, with all this crappy weather, cold weather we've been having.
Mm-hmm.
It's all we've been really doing. It's where they're at today, right now.
Well, there you go.
At Carl's.
Well, yeah, no, I was looking at the wedges because I was like,
Ooh, a nice set of wedges is always good.
But then they have all those different
Lofts?
well, they have the
And
lofts,
and
but
the soles.
the soles.
Yeah,
and I'm
the
reading
grind.
about it. I go, I'm already lost. I mean, it's like S, you got your G and whatever. And they're like, well, if you're here, then you're supposed to hit this. And it's like, well, it's almost like fishing when I told people that, well, you really need the proper setup to do it correctly. And it's like, well, maybe I need the proper setup.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah. No, I mean, so your grind, we
That's
here,
what, grind,
we out here in Michigan have very clay, right? So it's a thick kind of soil,
Okay.
right? So if we were down south, because tour players do this all the time, they'll switch wedges every week.
Right. That's what
because of the different, grounds that they're playing with. So we have a lot of tight lies up here because it's clay. We're more of a clay soil than down south is more sandy, right? So sandy's softer, clay is harder.
Right.
So you want to be able to get your grind down in the ground quicker than per se a more sandy soil. So then you want your sole to be lower in a sandy and higher because your sole is what's going to be the leading edge of your club.
Okay.
So like 10 is probably what I would say for up here. You want a sole.
Okay.
Which is more higher of a sole because then that is going to dig deeper into the ground. So that's your sole is always based upon what you're playing on the soil.
What about your grind?
The grind is more of like the teeth itself on the club face.
Right.
Yeah. So that's going to vary from every club maker.
Right.
But
they all have those different, the different ones. And some are like, well, if you don't take large divots or if you shallow swing, it's like, well, I don't know what my swing is.
Yeah.
I know sometimes I get a divot, but it's not like my ball does the backup boogaloo.
Correct. And the grind, because there's tour grind, there's, normal grind, there's the SS, the TG, which is tour grind. I think that's just really getting lost in the weeds of clubs. And
Well, I want the best.
I know. So do I.
It improves my game.
Yeah. If you want
all,
more spin.
all 5 times I play.
If you want more spin, then do the tour grind because it's just going to have more bite
Mm-hmm.
is really what it is. But then from coming from where I know how spin is created, if you're not hitting it
Downward.
correctly, no. It's more about getting your hands through the ball.
Yeah, downward.
Then you ain't going to create spin anyways.
You got to squish that ball and.
Yeah. Well, it's all about to create spin. You want to get you're getting your hands, the club through the ball quicker than your hands. Like a downward forward press is not going to have as much backup spin as something that you're just kind of coming right through on. So it's really all more on how you hit the ball. And then that's where, I think, you can think of, well, this is going to help me spin more. Well, maybe it could help just by hitting it. But if you're not also hitting it correctly, it's not going to spin.
Right.
If you're not creative. That's why you hear it all the time when you're watching golf, right? Like, hey, they got to control the spin on this shot.
Right.
Or if it zips back to you. Well, if you know how to control the spin, that's how you hit it.
Right.
But if you don't know how to control spin or even hit it to create spin, period, it's not going to create spin.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I like to think I know how to do it.
So that's where I'd be like, I wouldn't get lost in the whole grind scenario. The sole, yes, just because that helps. It's the leading. It's the sole is what is the leading part of the club that gets into the ground first. So depending on the sole factor, based upon what soil you're hitting, makes a difference. That's why all the tour pros they'll switch wedges for every tournament because they know that hey, this is more sandier,
right?
This is more clayer. This is the type of grass, even too,
right?
Whether it's Bermuda or a bluegrass or whatever, it's all about the lie. So then you change up your club setup. So, but yeah.
So shop at Carl's.
But no, shop at Carl's. But I will give a shout out. Maybe we can even I'll reach out to him and have him on the show. But I'm a big promoter of Scott Hayes at Miles of Golf.
Okay, yeah.
In Ann Arbor. So go check him out. Tell him I sent you. But go get fit. Like if you really want to get the right clubs for you, spend the extra. It might be more now. Because the last time I've done it was over a decade ago. So I'm sure it's a lot more now.
Inflation.
Maybe not a lot more, but it was like $250, the best $250 you're going to spend.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get new clubs, don't just go buy some random clubs because it's the hottest, newest TaylorMade.
Right.
Like, go get fit for a driver. And if you do end up buying the club through Carl's, Miles, and I'm sure Carl's does, I know they do the same thing. The guys over at Miles Golf are dope. So,
I have a buddy that did that.
So worth it.
Last year, he bought his first ever. I think he said it was. I don't know if it was his first ever custom, or I don't want to say custom, but fitted clubs.
Yep.
Or
yeah.
It was
custom.
Yeah.
It's custom because it's to your specs.
And he bought a new set of Mizunos, and he did at Miles. He had a lot of good things to say about it.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what you want to do because you're seeing your data, you're seeing what you're producing, right? To get it all in the weeds, all the numbers, the spin rate, your impact score, all that stuff that then those guys can take and then say, all right, we're gonna have you hit this club with this shaft,
right? Because
you just have way too high of a spin rate. We need to bring your spin rate down. Which then all of a sudden you're like, holy crap, I've never hit my 6-iron that far.
Right.
Because it's tailored to you.
Right.
It's the right shaft. It's the right flex. It's maybe a tip stiff shaft that's reducing the all that stuff. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you start hitting, you're like, holy crap, this is straight.
Right.
This feels good.
Shocker.
And it goes far.
You don't lose as many balls.
Golf tips for today. That was the show.
I like it.
If you want to get a good set of clubs, don't just go buy the next set off the rack. Actually spend a little extra money, $200-$300. I mean, it's $250 when I know it, so maybe it's $350 now, probably something like that. But it is so worth it. And I know if you end up buying clubs with them, I think they pay you back some of that fee as well.
Okay.
Maybe you can
let's
buy
have
clubs.
them on.
I'll reach out to them.
We'll do a whole segment
It's
on
fun.
Custom fitting golf clubs. And,
oh, dude, you can get me into the weeds.
Well, I mean, that's what
start talking about numbers. You're like, don't we just hit a white ball?
Yeah. It's not even moving either.
Just
stare at it.
We're gonna go deep into Bryson DeChambeau's life.
Yeah,
he's all about the freaking numbers about that stuff. It's fun. So, yeah. So, anyways, golf stuff. If you need golf tips, check this video out.
There you go.
Well, Paul Seguin with eXp Realty.
I'm Devon Carr with Gold Star Mortgage.
And this is the Carr and Seguin Show.
See you.
See you.
The primary purpose of this podcast series is to inform, entertain, and educate. The information, opinions, and recommendations presented in this podcast series do not constitute legal or professional advice, opinions, or endorsements of any kind. Gold Star Mortgage Financial Group, NMLS 3446, Equal Housing Lender.